Okay, so you just got done giving your girlfriend a wet willy. It's good, it's bad. Alright? And everybody's got garbage on some level. If you're with Christ, you release it. He comes down, does maintenance on everybody, like annual maintenance, pulls out all the energy. You're clean of it, you can carry on. If you're not with Christ consciousness, I don't know, you just carry it, die, and eventually get cancer. That fucking fireworm stuff, the energy, was hate built up in the girl that I hooked up to. And I didn't even go skin to skin. I just hooked up to her to give her a psychic reading to find out where her tumors were in her fucking uterus, okay? To see if she's had any more, because she was dying of cancer. So I could see the tumors in her, where they are. And so that's what I was doing. I just aligned with her and got close. I didn't even break her field. And I got all her garbage. But taking her garbage, the old shaman thing, you take her garbage, well, it came automatically. And as soon as I realized I'd taken her garbage, I took the appropriate steps and got rid of it. So I got rid of it pretty quick. I mean, I could have been laying there for days. But you take her garbage, it saved her life. Okay? She lived for more years. She had a week to live, they said. A week. I took all that fucking demon fire energy in her, and it was her own self-hate. Her own self-hate, her own self-abuse, her own self-garbage, her own fucking hate of the fucking world. She bottled it deep inside. I took it out. I didn't know nothing about no Christ consciousness to help her out in that area. I could have avoided the whole thing. I could have got Christ to come in and help her. And she was sweet, innocent in her heart. But in her body and her mind and her ego world, fucking devastated. She was raped fucking countless times. Just brutal. And she took all that fucking frustration and craziness, bottled it up, and I took the fucking demons out of her. That fucking fire energy. That's the truth. I'm not lying. So anyway, and that's what was causing her fucking cancer. That fucking fire, that bottled up fucking hate. Alright? So stick with Christ. Jesus Christ, stick with Christ. Consciousness. Anyway, so I'm going to say that was a bad one. She wasn't even my girlfriend, okay? I wasn't even close to her. So, now you know how to close the gap. So, keep doing it. Keep doing it. You got to learn. You got to have experiences. Bad shit's going to come your way. But you want to walk. If you're with Christ, tell Christ beforehand you want to go have experiences with this person on a spirit level. Just remember, innocence, inner light, Christ consciousness. Go have fun. Let Christ know you're going. He'll probably already know if you're more or less in touch with him. But if you have any problems, you just get Christ to come down and help you out. And he will. And you're innocent to explore. He'll bitch and scream, but you know, you're innocent to explore. And then you'll get his attention, Christ's attention, by you doing this, and maybe he'll start giving you experiences in the Christ consciousness. Alright? Either way, whatever. So, let's say you do that to other people 10 times, okay? And now, if you hook up to a girl, her soul is going to feel your love, right? Your innocence. And you're going to be, and that girl is not spiritual or anything. As soon as she feels your innocence in your heart, and her innocence and your innocence start communicating, she's going to feel Christ. She's going to feel the God. She's going to feel innocence where she came from. Not in her ego, but her soul. And her soul's going to go, and it's going to attach to you like you wouldn't believe. You gotta, and the love, and the innocence, and you gotta detach from it. Okay? Good luck with that. You gotta now detach from it. Let it go. If you know this girl or not. Okay? Because the innocence, the light, is God. Souls down here are suffering, dying to go home. You're a little piece of that home. The best thing that could have happened. It's never happened to her. You aligned your innocence, your inner light to hers. And it's boom, godlike. Her soul's like, don't fucking leave. Don't leave. I'm here alone in this shit. Cold and miserable in this shit fucking hell world. And it's going to attach to you. And yours is the same way. I love you. I love you. Come on, get the fuck over it. It happens to everybody. You could hook up to fucking Grandpa George living in the corner over there. And he's going to fucking love you too because it's home. You're feeling home. It's the same goddamn thing. I love you. Everybody loves you, except in the ego world. Now they're all attached to you. So you got to break that attachment. How do you do that? You fucking break it. You block it. Push it back, push it back, push it back. Ask Christ to help you. And if you can't break away from the person, if you can't stop the alignment, it's like this now. You're walking around your life. She's walking around her life. She don't know what the fuck's going on. But her soul knows. And her spirit knows. And you know what you just did. Now you're like this. Constantly. For days. Months. Pulling back and forth. Pulling each other's energy. Aligned to each other. You gotta break that and separate it. Become separate by yourself. Okay? Now, if you were in love with that person. I mean deeply in love. To begin with, and then you went and did this, well, it's 10 times worse now. Now you go fucking obsession. You go right out of your fucking gourd. Obsession, obsession, obsession. You need a fix constantly. You need the fix. And it fucking goes on for years, okay? And you're always trying to get that fix. How do you get out of that? She don't want nothing to do with you in the real world. She don't give a fuck. She's fucking some other guy. Her heart's with you, but she's thinking what she's feeling in her heart, which is from you. She's screwing another guy, thinking it's him. Now you realize this, and you're like, Rah! Right? Rah! No, see, ego response. And it's fucking hard, man. So watch over this. Now you gotta separate your fucking energy field, your flow of energy, and your field and your soul connection from her. How you do it? Yes, this is the worst part, man. It's gonna suck. So what you gotta do is separate yourself. After day after day after day, separate yourself. Don't facilitate the problem. You cannot facilitate hooking up to her and going to her. The only time you go to her is in your inner light. And if you don't know your inner light, well, fuck, I don't know what to say. You're going to have a fucking hell of a time. But the only time you can see her and love her is now with your inner light, your white light, your inner self, your spirit. And that's the only way. All lower soul and lower energy, physical thoughts, physical stuff, you got to do this in yourself. Okay? All because you touched her ear, okay? So, and then you fell in love with her. Because she's the only one your mind could get around going close to. You're not going to go do that with Grandpa and give him a wet willy, okay? No. You're going to go with girlfriend. Right? That's your ego. You shouldn't have fucking went anyway, but you need experiences to learn. And you're learning all this, so I'm telling you how to do it, how it's going to happen. So it happened to me. What you got to do is, the only time you think of her, when you think of her, you go to your inner light. Let your inner light deal with it. You block her. As soon as you feel her, block, push away. Go up, go real high, go real down. Hook up to another girl. One that's your friend. You love her, but you don't want to fucking have kids with her and be with her and snuggle with her. Just line to her. That lining to another person is going to separate you from that person. Okay? You're not going to that person on a soul level. You're not closing the gap. You're just aligning. Like that. You're not closing the gap. Okay? Pretty soon, after days, weeks, and the only time you go see the girl you love is in your inner light. You let your inner light do all the love stuff, because the inner light takes you out of all the garbage physical energies of love and connections and jealousy and greed and sex and all that. You gotta get rid of all that out of yourself and out of alignment with you, because you're still hitting their garbage. Okay? Dude, man, you have no idea what you're fucking doing. So, alright, so this is where you're at. And this is why half the people in the world end up into the nut house or suicide after they fall in love with someone, and the other person goes, fuck off. You out of your fucking mind. Alright? I've had gay guys fall in love with me. When I'm working in a coffee shop, they fall in love with me. I mean, literally in love with me. Obsession. One was obsessed. He fucking stalked me and everything. Totally obsessed. He'd just sit there at the counter, go, big giant muscle guy. I'm like, what the fuck? I go to bed at night and I can feel him fucking hugging me, fucking humping me. And I wouldn't let him up my butt, but he fucking trying. And I'm like, get the fuck off it. Spirit. Okay? Then I had other guys. I love you, I love you. One guy's crying at the counter. I'm like, come on, man. Damn, I ain't gay, I'm sorry. Then, girls, they hook up to you. I had dreams where girls fall in love with you from the heart to heart. And I go, what the hell's going on? Why are they all hooked up to my heart? And I had a dream. They had a big straw stuck in my heart. And they're drinking from it, walking around drinking all day long. So I'd be walking down the street in the dream, and there's a straw going from my heart to her mouth. She looks like a soda pop. They're sucking. They want your heart. They want your heart energy. They don't want nothing to do with your fucking physical world. Okay. This is what they're doing. They want your heart energy. Your innocence. Because it reminds them of home, spirit. They've never had it. You come along, hook up to them, stick a wet willy in their fucking ear, or just generally meet them on the fucking street, and they're fucking obsessed with you. Because they feel. Your heart's open, innocence is playing. That's the way I am. And they just come, put a straw, and that's what the dream told me. Why people do what they do. Because they've never had, in their whole life, they've had 3 kids, a husband, fucking minivans, houses, hundreds of $1,000s in the bank. The only thing they don't got, in reality, is love and innocence. You got it. A piece of crap, nothing, nomad. With Christ, innocence, love, and inner light. You talking to him at your job, and your heart goes, wham, just for 1 fucking second. Your whole world goes, oh, angels are singing, everything's happy, everything's bad. And they're spinning around in their fucking heads, and all of a sudden, boom, they're in love with you. For fucking weeks, they're hooking up to you. You can't get away from them. They ask to travel at night to you, to fuck you, to have sex with you, to hook up, to cuddle, to snuggle in your bed. And you're the same thing. You'll do the same thing. But it's okay if you're in your innocence to hug and fucking snuggle in the spirit world and after traveling. But stay in your innocence. Okay? And then, if you're in your innocence, everything is worked out with God and Christ. Everything's beautiful. Now, if you're with Christ, you won't get these nasty astral travelers trying to fucking rape you in your night. Okay? They're not raping you. But it's their only way. Sex is their only way to orientate the soul. Sex for the soul is the only way to orientate what they're feeling in their heart. They take with their innocence in their heart, what they feel from you, and they want to fuck it. Okay? That's what goes on, man. They want to fuck the innocence. Meanwhile, the innocence is inside them. But they only see it in you. So they come at you. You get it? And then you ain't even done anything to these people spiritually. You just met them fucking walking down the street at the fucking bus stop. And they're fucking now obsessed with you. All because you aligned with them while you were talking to them. Because they felt it. They feel it, they go, fuck! Oh, well, fuck it! That's 90% of what the fuck it is. I feel it. I want to fuck it. And they fucking, that's their only outlet. And it's the only thing they know. They don't know how to give love back. They just want to fuck it. You get one of these guys on you, or one of these girls on you, you're fucking, holy shit. You'd be begging for fucking Christ. Every goddamn night you gotta wake up in the middle of the night to that fucking you. Trust me, it's not fun. You're like, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ. So that's why you need Christ consciousness. Christ is like, no. Get back. Back off. And it's his soul. It's his soul. His soul don't know any better. His soul's unevolved. Not a fucking Christ. Not a spirit. He just wants to fuck. He feels your inner light, your innocence, and your inner light, God glow with Christ. Oh, hell. Everybody who even knows what home feels like is going to be right on you. So be fucking careful who you hook up to go give interactions with, okay? You got to be careful. You really got to be careful. Playing is playing. And there's a whole nice level of playing. But then you play with the wrong person, and in their ego, all hell breaks loose. And the garbage is coming. So you got to deal with the garbage. You got to deal with the fucking soul attachment. Okay? The whole opening up in front of your eyes and a fist coming through and punching you. Oh, it's a lot of fun. And I'm telling you, this happens all the time. All the time. So, almost everyone you hook up to spiritually, you're going to get their box of fucking toys. Call it that. Everybody's got their own way. They're going to be on you and you're going to figure it out. And you don't even want to figure out the garbage. You just want to go have an experience of moving something, right? So, that's what you do. How do you do it? How do you bypass that? Christ consciousness. If you don't have Christ consciousness, well, there's other ways of doing it. Okay. Blocking, aligning with someone else, but not going to them. You don't want to suck their garbage. Okay? So when you say, I will myself to that person, and you close the gap, that's when you get the garbage. The closer you get to their material, physical body, from the soul level down to the spirit, the physical body, the more garbage you're going to get, because the closer you are to all their chakras. You align yourself to their chakras, you align yourself to their inner light, and almost everyone you hook up to within a fucking minute is going to be fucking you. Their soul is going to be fucking you. Because they feel their heart, and their only fucking response they know is to fuck. So they'll be humping your leg like a dog, okay? As soon as you align. It's just automatic. It's automatic. That's the way it is. And when that happens, and if you know the person or if you don't know the person, they're going to be fucking you like a dog. Now this is after the closer you get to physical. I guarantee you, go do it. Give it a try. You ain't going to die. But it's going to happen. Or you're going to be fucking doing it. Depending on you and your soul. But you got to learn, right? But learn these fucking lessons. And with Christ consciousness, you're going to learn. And he'll help you out a lot. You can take the fireworms away. Keep the fucking demons out of you. Okay? If you know the person, it's one thing. If you don't know the person, it's another thing. If the person's in Christ, it's one thing. If the person's not in Christ, it's another thing. Okay? There's good and bad at some level, and everybody and everything. And you got to figure out all that. You got to go through. And trust me, there's more fucking garbage than there is good. You can love somebody innocent to their innocence, and you can love each other and facilitate each other's love. But the ego always gets in the way. It always gets obsessed. It always gets jealous. It always gets fucking bullshit. If you know the person, I've had most of the people I've loved in my life, girls that I've loved, been with, and not been with, The ones I've not been with, we loved each other. We were friends at some level. I'm asking them out to go on a fucking date. They're like, no. They got a boyfriend on the side. They're screwing whenever they need to get laid. Meanwhile, you ain't getting any. But everything she feels in her heart from you, she looks at as him, the other guy. So she's sucking your energy all day long, aligning herself. Her soul is with you, lying in bed, but she's with the guy, fucking him. So her soul is actually fucking you on a soul level, and physically she's fucking the guy in the bed thinking it's him that this great fucking energy's coming from. We'll go through that a couple fucking times to see how it works out. You're gonna love that shit. Wow, lots of fun there, boy. 90% of the girls I've hooked up to and shared love with and wanted to be with, that's the fucking case that was happening. Oh, and then you get to lay there all night and watch them fuck the guy. Meanwhile, her soul's with you, hugging you, and she's fucking screwing some guy. You're gonna love that. You're gonna fucking love it. I mean, innocence in your heart, in the inner light. Oh, just the most beautiful thing. Best thing, best feeling in the whole fucking world. And she's just inches away, but she don't give a fuck about you because she thinks it's from him. Love. Yeah, love. That's why I have such a hard time with love. Because everybody's so fucking full of shit. No one knows what the fucking love means. Nobody does. Love is sex. Love is ownership. Love is possession. Obsession. Sex. Violence. Sex is beer. Sex is alcohol. Beer. Tobacco. Love is the first thing they can get physical. No one fucking knows what the fuck's going on. No one knows. I hooked up to fucking so many fucking women. Not, some of it was person to person interrelationships. And this is what goes on. Oh yeah, you're really gonna like this. You're in a relationship and you're having a good fucking time. You're having a good fucking time. You're in a relationship with someone and you love them and they love you. But as soon as you leave their house and go home and go to sleep, she calls up her boyfriend and starts fucking him. Oh, you're gonna love that. Oh, and then, because you're spiritual now, and you're hooked up to her, you get to sit there and lay in bed and watch it. Because there's no gaps between you. You're totally hooked up to her. Now that you've cracked your ego. So you're going to love that part. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. So enjoy that, man. It's all an experience. But get with Grace Consciousness, separate, break up with them. You want to be one within yourself, aligned. Innocence, inner light. When you're aligned, you know the truth. You see the truth. You know the truth. You own the truth of yourself. Fuck the rest of the world. Step out of the world. Step out of the soul world. Step out of the ego world. You're one within yourself. And you can deal with all that shit. With Grace Consciousness and your alignment within your heart. You can deal with anything. You might fight a couple times because you don't like it in your ego. But you'll get through it. Just keep asking Grace for help. Ask your inner light for help to understand it. So that is closing a gap with someone and trying to get physical touch. So give them a wet willy in the ear, okay? I know this is 2 videos, and I can even get deeper. I can branch off from all the crap that I just told you. This is just the crap at the beginning of the crap, okay? That happens, the good and bad. And it usually ends up bad. Because you're going to see something that's going to be triggered. And you're going to go confront her. You're going to see something in the spirit world. You're going to get triggered. You're going to go ask her about it. 2 planes crashing. There goes the relationship. And she's going to confirm it. Yeah. I fucked him. So what? We're not in a relationship. 10,000 excuses come up. Okay? It's just all bullshit noise. Okay? This is what I do. Fine. Bye-bye. Let me collect my shit out of your house and have a good day. Peace and love to you. Bye. fucking disconnect with Christ, block it, block all of it, and when you gotta think of her, or him or her, and you gotta think of them, you let the inner light do it. As soon as you feel them hooking up to you, they call you on the phone, inner light. Out of my life. No, I got no fucking time for this shit. Don't let sex get you back in it. Don't let the fucking lust and everything else and the compromises in your head. Have you ever quit smoking? You ever had fucking smoking? I mean hardcore, and you try to quit? You compromise every goddamn thing down to in the world. You compromise in yourself. Everything to keep fucking smoking. Everything in yourself. Compromise. Well, just one more. I'll quit after this. I'll cut my toe off, and then I'll have a cigarette, and then I'll quit. I'll quit after that. Well, just one more fucking, That's what love's like at the spirit level. I'll go to her house and get laid one more time. Then I'll do it. You're just facilitating it. You think of her. You're jerking off. You thinking of her jerking off? You're facilitating it. No more jerking off. No more nothing. Don't think of her. Move on. Visualize timelines. Her timeline and you with her, or someone else's. Stay on that someone else's. Orientate your whole being to that someone else's. That girl and that whole thing. Bye-bye. It's gone bye-bye. Stop facilitating it. Alright? Life on Earth, so much fun. Drama. Oh yeah, you want the spirit world drama too? Alright. Just from One Wet Willie, by the way.